Hey y'all, it's my review for The Real Housewives of New Jersey, episode 10. We're officially in the middle of the season, and this episode kicks off the cash trip to Ireland. So let's get into it. We open at Melissa's store, Envy, where she's having a little pop-up for Danielle's clothing line, Bougie Kids. Now I'm looking at some of the clothes. One of the kids' shirts say Pretty Boy Swag, and if I'm not mistaken, isn't that copyrighted by Soulja Boy? She better hope he don't watch, because, you know, rappers be suing housewives now. I mean, look at Giselle and Robin. We see Jennifer stopping by, I'm guessing to show support. When she's talking to Melissa, she's making sure she's okay with her being in the wedding. Like, does she feel any kind of way? Ooh, you just know Jennifer is just getting her life, knowing that she's in Teresa's wedding and Melissa isn't. Melissa says she doesn't care, it's totally fine. I'm sure she's bothered by it. Not particularly because she wants to be in Teresa's wedding, but she knows Teresa's trying to stick it to her. I'm really curious about Jennifer's intentions because it looks like she's trying to encourage Melissa to ask Teresa to be in the wedding. She's like, well, you know, like the spot's always open for you. Melissa assures her that she won't be changing her mind to be in Teresa's bridal party. We cut to Jennifer's confessional, and of course she's kissing Teresa's ass. She's thinking Melissa should try to like build a bridge and extend the olive branch to get the family to go along, to get along. But I wonder why she thinks Melissa's the one that has to kiss Teresa's ring in order for the family to get along. Because by that logic, Teresa should have had Melissa in her wedding in the first place and should have invited her mom as well. Melissa's right about what she said on Watch What Happens Live. Jennifer is just obsessed with Teresa. Oh my God, here go Danielle complaining about Rachel. Sweetie, let it go. Let it go. You don't even like Margaret. What I saw that day, I saw a rat. I saw a rat. She's trying too hard. I just can't with her. Next scene, we're with Dolores, and of course she's at a man house. She's meeting his brother, who's from Ireland. And I think it was Dolores' date with Paul that inspired this trip. Now, y'all know how I love to do impressions, but I cannot do an Irish accent to save my life. Top of the morning. Stay away from me, Lucky Charms. Okay, I'll stop. So Dolores just talking about hosting the other ladies and just hoping everything goes smoothly, no drama. Of course, that's not gonna happen on Housewives. So now we cut to Melissa as well as Teresa, and their men are just giving them pep talks. Like, this feud will never end, y'all. Like, they each think that the other is the problem. Now, I do think Teresa is like maybe 70% of the problem, and then Melissa, she's 20% of the problem, and Joe is 10%. Child, and here go Jennifer talking to her husband about Teresa, and her husband looks just so disinterested into what she's saying. I bet he's so glad that she's leaving for a few days. Jennifer also says she's going to try to stay clear of Margaret during the trip, and she also blames Margaret for problems going on in her family, particularly with her daughter wanting to be a love therapist. Like, you can't put that all on Margaret. Your husband's the one that cheated on you, and you're the one that wanted to go on a reality show to tell your business. Jeez, this scene with Jennifer and her husband is very long. Now she's nagging him about how they went to therapy together. He's gonna make a better effort being with the kids. He said he is, but that's not enough for her. She said, I need to see you doing it. Like, she has been berating this man every other episode. Bill looks so exhausted in this scene, and I bet he regrets every day letting her be on this show, because she has definitely found her voice. Good for her, but she's still in agony of a person. So next scene, the ladies all arrive at the airport. I think the only two beefs that are going on right now is between Rachel and Danielle, and of course, Jennifer and Margaret. Now, Margaret says she ain't worried about Jennifer on this trip. I'm like, if I'm going on a trip with 8 other people, because I think it's 9 altogether, I think it'll be easy to avoid one person. So I'm sure Dublin is nice, but I would say it's at the very bottom of my priority list. Like right now, it's gonna be Tokyo, Italy, Barcelona, Bali. Did I say Greece already? Like, Dublin will be at the very bottom, y'all. Has anyone in the chat been to Dublin before? Please let me know your experience in the comments. So they arrive in Dublin. They're all headed to a castle to stay at. Okay, Jersey giving sort of luxury here. On the bus, it seems like everyone's getting along. We get to know a little bit more about Jen Fessler, who I think should be bumped up to a regular full-time housewife. Like, switch out one of the new girls and bump her up. But she said she actually had a fling with James Gandolfini. Now, I never watched The Sopranos, but I heard it was a good show. But yeah, is that something to brag about? Y'all let me know in the comments. Also, y'all, I need to Google it, but is James Gandolfini still with us? I think he's dead. Oh, I'm gonna be so embarrassed if he's not. I think he is. So they arrive to the castle, and it's beautiful, but it looks like it's in the middle of nowhere, and it would give me anxiety, you know, like they're just surrounded by forests. Like that's just like the perfect scene of a horror movie at night. They're giving us some facts about the castle, and it's 10,800 square feet, 9 bedrooms, and 7 bathrooms. It's given an old world feel, but it reminds me of when the Beverly Hills girls, they were in some part of France and they were staying in this like huge house. So on this trip, there will be no fighting for the rooms. Like I think Teresa and Dolores are gonna get the best rooms. The rest of the ladies, they picked their rooms in a hat. Low key, it looked like Jennifer got the best room in the castle. I mean, that bathroom is stunning. But I will say, for the rest of the rooms, like, this needs to be severely updated. Like, I know it was built in the 17th century, but they ain't gotta keep the decor the same. Next scene, the ladies are all at lunch, and Dolores is just letting these chicks know that, look, we're not in Jersey anymore, so I just want y'all to be a little bit more respectful, you know, of the house, of the staff. So I think she's going by, like, how the ladies treated the psychic that was at her house. Not to discussing whether or not Jennifer gave the psychic an update before she did the ladies' readings, because like her readings were a little bit too spot on to the point of her using exact verbiage that Margaret used. Like it was obvious she talked to somebody. So Teresa, dumbass, without even realizing it, rats Jennifer out for talking to the psychic about her fight with Margaret. So she in fact did speak to the psychic before she did the readings. Why did she lie about that? Jennifer's caught red-handed now, and now she's trying to justify her speaking to the psychic. Margaret and Jennifer going back and forth now, and somehow Jennifer brings up Margaret's ex-best friend, who she talked to, saying, I would never repeat what she said. It was terrible. Of course she's going to repeat it. Like, she couldn't wait to spill that rumor about Melissa. I mean, we already heard about it. Like, production's already in on it. Like, as soon as she says the rumor, like, the camera focuses on Melissa. And here go nosy-ass Danielle again. I see why her nose so big. Like, she cannot help but sticking in other people's business. Oh, well, what was the rumor? What was the rumor? She is so involved with what Margaret's friend said. And I'm sure it has nothing to do with her. She just wants to know. I'm about to start calling her Gonzo for that big-ass nose she got. Like, all you see is just blonde hair, a big nose, and lips. I know there's something big they're not telling me. It's none of your business. Jennifer continues to tease the table at the rumor she heard. She says she's not going to repeat it. We cut to her confessional, and she says she's just enjoying seeing Margaret squirm because she knows that I know what was said. Like, they really hate each other. I don't know, like, I still like Margaret. Like, even though I'm pretty sure, like, her ex-best friend probably ratted her out. I mean, maybe she did hear some things about Melissa, but did she repeat it? No. Did she bring it on the show? No. But definitely, you know, Teresa and Jennifer are going to try to bring it up on the show and then try to throw Margaret under the bus for saying that she knew first. Like, it's just fascinating seeing the vendetta that Jennifer has against Margaret. Like, I think she really holds Margaret responsible for her marriage problems right now. So after lunch is over, the ladies have a little downtime before they go out for dinner. We see Danielle going into Jennifer's room, and of course she's talking about, oh, what's the rumor at the table? Like, I just couldn't believe it. So they're gossiping about Margaret and her friend, and then Danielle asks Jennifer, so what did Laura say that you can't repeat? I just really want to know. Jennifer says she doesn't want to say, there's a family involved, I can't do it, I can't do it. But Danielle just keeps egging her on. This is just so calculated and fake. So the first name that Danielle says is Melissa. And then you got Jennifer saying, oh, well, she made me and Teresa swear not to tell anybody. But yet she's been threatening Margaret any chance she gets that she knows the rumor. Like, if you're gonna do it, do it. But don't be saying all this bullshit, like, oh, I can't do it, I'm gonna hurt a family. You don't give a fuck. So Jennifer finally tells Danielle the rumor, which is about Melissa allegedly being unfaithful to Joe. She was kissing somebody in the backseat of a car and got caught. I'm getting mad just watching this because Jennifer's just so happy. Yes, Margaret said it. And then Danielle, she's trying to feign shocking her confessional. I can't believe it. You don't even know Melissa. This is clearly an attempt to take down Margaret, but it's just really coming off desperate to me. Jennifer's so concerned with getting back at Margaret that I'm sure she's going to be blindsided when her husband files for divorce. They continue talking about this rumor, and Jennifer says when Teresa heard it, she says she believed it. I mean, that doesn't surprise me because not only does Jennifer want to take down Margaret, but Teresa wants to take down Melissa. And she don't like Margaret either, so it's basically a 2-for-1 takedown. That's why they were so pressed getting that information out of Margaret's friend. Danielle, shut the fuck up. She's like, I wish I didn't ask her. I don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. Like, don't tell anyone. Do they realize that they're on camera? Like, do they realize that? So next thing, the ladies are off to civilization. It looks like they're in the main city now and they're going to a bar. So they all kikiing at the table. Of course, the topic is sex. Do you send dirty pictures to your man? I mean, straight people, y'all don't do that? I mean, I could meet somebody on Tinder the same night, we'll be exchanging nudes. Like, it really isn't a big deal. I mean, do people stop sending nudes to each other when they're in relationships? If anything, I mean, it makes it a little bit spicy and entertaining. Like, you know, if I'm at work or whatever, I'm having a long day and babe sends me a nude, it might put me in better spirits. Like, nudes are like flowers. All right, now I'm getting kind of bored. Like, they need to talk about something a little bit more interesting. Danielle's just such a fucking lackey. Every time I hear her in her confessional, oh my God. So then the topic changes to Teresa's wedding and like her bridal party and if her bridesmaids got the dresses. Of course, production keeps the camera on Melissa to make sure they capture every reaction she makes. So then Jen Fessler asks Teresa what made her choose Jennifer and Dolores as bridesmaids. Now, I think Jen Fessler's being messy in this moment because she knows that's going to open up a can of worms. And surely enough, as Teresa's talking about it, she's like, well, they were just such good supporters of Louis. And of course, one can see that as shade towards Melissa. She then says she waited late to ask them to be her bridesmaids because she didn't want to have another problem with her brother. She thought it was going to be an issue. And then Melissa jumps in and says, well, why would Joe have a problem? Because you already made other friends your bridesmaids. So they're going back and forth, of course. And then Teresa's saying, well, if you guys just told me about inviting your mom, it would have been nothing. It would have been nothing. The problem is that you did that with intention. You already said that 3 episodes ago. Like, the reason why you didn't invite Melissa's mom was because of some shit that happened 10 years ago. But yet you're inviting, like, strangers to your wedding. So it was just all pointed. So for her to keep, like, defending this, she's taking no accountability whatsoever. As Teresa and Melissa going back and forth on invites, Jennifer interjects and tells Melissa, well, you know, you were invited out of obligation. And it's like a record scratched at the table. Like, why did she even involve herself in that argument? Like, her head, again, is just so far up Teresa's ass. Like, even if it is true, it's very inappropriate for her to say that. Some of the other ladies jump in the conversation and say that's not cool. And you can tell by the look on Teresa's face that she wished Jennifer didn't say that. Teresa keeps talking her bullshit. She's basically lying. She then says another lie saying she never throws her brother under the bus. Melissa keeps calling her ass out, but they're at a stalemate right now because none of these other ladies will call Teresa out on her shit. Like, I feel like Margaret just wants to be in a better place with Teresa. Dolores, I mean, that's Teresa's best friend. Of course, Jennifer and Danielle ain't gonna say nothing. Jen Fessler and Rachel, they know their position. They're not gonna go against Teresa. Maybe Jackie will call Teresa out, but that's it. Like, no one else is gonna, like, back Melissa up. Speaking of Jackie, she does try to put a pin in it and table the conversation. Teresa's like, well, your friend Jen Fessler brought it up. And that's true. Like, Jen Fessler should have never brought it up. I think she knew what she was doing. But even in that moment where she's saying Jen Fessler brought it up, like, she just cannot take accountability for anything. So here they go again, just changing the topic like nothing is wrong. Yeah, so they're playing some silly game. They're all laughing. Ha 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 ha. And that's where the episode ends. Decent episode, but again, like, the Teresa versus Melissa drama is just so taxing. It really is. Like, I really need Melissa to just cuss Teresa out one good time, or at least throw some water in her face, something. Because it always plays out as someone brings up a topic that's taboo between them. They start off with a subtle disagreement. They're going back and forth till they're yelling at each other, then cussing, and then someone storms off. And that's just how it goes. Or it ends in a stalemate. Like, something has to change. Because we've been seeing this for, like, what? A decade now. So we see the preview for the next episode. It looks like the bachelorette party continues. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode and whose side are y'all on now, Teresa or Melissa? And also, let me know whose side you're on between Jennifer and Margaret. With that said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you for the next episode. Bye.